Ciao, come stai? Welcome to Talk Calcio TV with me, Domenico, in our last results review of the year 2017. In what I said was the most open Scudetto race in years, has gone from a 4-horse race, looks as if it's now going into a 2-horse race into 2018. We got many talking points from this last weekend of fixtures as well. It didn't disappoint. Napoli top, Hamzik scores again. Paulo Dybala selected by Massimo Allegri for Juventus again, on the score sheet twice. Benevento get their first ever Serie A win. Bet you didn't think we'd say that this year. And also Udinese get 5 straight wins. Is coach Massimo Otto destined for bigger things? So we're going to start with Napoli. They are the winter champions in Serie A going into 2018, chasing their first ever Scudetto since the days of the great man himself, Diego Armando Maradona. Well, it was that man who equalled his goals record and then broke it, Marek Hamzik, on the score sheet on Friday night, as they beat Crotone 1-0 away. The main talking point was a penalty that wasn't given to Crotone. I've seen it. I thought it was a penalty personally. But at the end of it, you can't fault Napoli's consistency going into next year. They are top of this table. Of course, the decision not given by the referee prompted Crotone's president to criticise the official. No surprise in Italy, as we know. He's along the lines of, Napoli are a bigger club. They get the decisions. No one cares about poor little Crotone. Make of that what you will. And in second position, who's likely to push Napoli all the way, as we know, Juventus. They beat Verona 3-1. Paulo Dybala, the Argentine striker who publicly fell out with Massimo Allegri, was selected. He was on the score sheet twice. Matuidi also scored. Now, after the game, Massimo Allegri said along the lines of, one day Dybala will be the greatest. He will be better than Messi. He will not have to listen to anyone. Now, that is a strong statement to make when you've got Lionel Messi, along with Cristiano Ronaldo, the best player in the world. That is a big statement to make. Now, has he patched up with Dybala? We all know Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, and of course now Manchester United interested in the Argentine services. Watch this space on that one. I think if Juventus are going to push Napoli, they need to keep him. We will see what will happen on that one. Inter Milan, they drew at home to Lazio 0-0. Luciano Spalletti's side's form has tailed off in the last 3 or 4 games, as we know. Lost ground for Inter Milan. You just think third place now will be a target. I'm sure most Nerazzurri fans would have took that before the start of the season. The Biancoceleste and Lazio, though, they lose ground on 4th place Roma. They could have really done with the points, especially because Roma, they drew yet again at the Stadio Olimpico. Eusebio Di Francesco's side against his old club Sassuolo, it all started well for them. Pietro Pellegrini scored after 3 minutes. You thought the floodgates are going to open. But Di Francesco's old team Sassuolo, they did not lie down, ending in a 1-1 draw. Of course, Roma having 2 goals disallowed thanks to the famous VAR system, and yet again we saw play suspended. We see the VAR system used in Roma games, I'm sure, more than any other team. But that's another discussion. So Roma now, with Lazio breathing fire down their neck, I think Giallorossi fans beginning to get a bit twitchy. You know, their faint hopes of the Scudetto is gone. They will have to consolidate that 4th place in the Champions League. Anything less than that, especially finishing if they below Lazio, would be considered a great failure for most Roma fans. So let's go through the rest of the results. Fiorentina and AC Milan was a 1-1 draw at the Artemio Franchi in Florence. Simeone given Fiorentina lead on 71 minutes, but then just 5 minutes later, AC Milan equalised. Now, the big talking point from this one was Alessio Romagnoli not being sent off. His challenge was worth a double red card, according to the La Viola coach. Elsewhere, Atalanta, we've said the underdog, they've been so consistent in their form, but they lost ground. They were beaten 2-1 at home against Cagliari. Pavoletti and Padorin on the score sheet for Cagliari. Now, we never thought we would say this in 2017. Benevento got their first ever Serie A win. They beat the Flying Donkeys, and most press will say they're donkeys today, Chievo 1-0 at home. They are on 4 points, a way to go to get out of the Serie A drop zone, but they end 2017 with a win. You know, seeing them on 1 point all this time, you feel sorry for them. Can they get more wins? Well, we will see, but I just somehow think they are destined for a return to Serie B. Elsewhere, next result, we have Bologna. They were beaten at home by Udinese 2-1. Kevin Lasagna, that man again, finishes 2017 with plenty of bite for Udinese. Now, Massimo Oddo, what a job he is doing at Udinese. 5 straight wins. You just think he's destined for bigger things. You know, there's talk about Rino Gattuso's future at AC Milan. Oddo himself, an ex-Rossoneri player. We always have a managerial merry-go-round in the middle of the season in Serie A, especially at the end of the season. I just think he's destined for a Rossoneri job one day. Could he possibly be an Azzurri manager of the future? It would be nice if he continues the way he's going. We will see what will happen on that front. We need the Italian FA to sort themselves out in order first, so let's not get too carried away there. Elsewhere, we had Sampdoria beat Spal 2-0 in Genoa at the Luigi Ferrari Stadium. Fabio Quagliarella, the evergreen striker, 34 years of age, he is in some form. You know, 10 years ago we thought he was going to be the next Ronaldo. That never happened, but right now the Blue Curati, a great win for them, possibly one of the best home forms in Serie A as we know, just one defeat at home all season. You know, at the moment, the way Sampdoria are going, you think they can have an outside chance of the 4th place for the Champions League. It looks as if it's going to be between Roma and Lazio, the 2 clubs of Rome, but don't rule out the Genoese team just yet. Other results, we had a goalless draws between Torino and Genoa, and of course we've already mentioned Inter against Lazio. So that is, as we go into 2018, Napoli lead Serie A. They are just 4 points above Juventus. Inter in 3rd position. Roma 2 points clear of Lazio for 4th spot. Of course, the Giallorossi have a game in hand against Sampdoria. If we look at the other end of the table, Benevento, like I say, on 4 points. Verona and Crotone, they prop up the other spaces. Spal and Genoa, the 2 teams that are likely to be involved in a relegation battle too. So, as we end 2017, Napoli lead the way. Can they keep hold of the top spot? Can they win their first ever Scudetto since the days of Armando Maradona? We will see. No doubt Juventus will push them all away. Can they keep hold of Paulo Dybala? Well, thanks for watching. And like I say, don't forget to subscribe. Talk Calcio TV. And what will 2018 bring? We will see. Thank you ever so much for watching. Felici Anno Nuovo. Happy New Year. Arrivederci.